guys talk.
I want Jeff to go
I
on.
want Jeff to talk.
Jeff, can you do one of your
Jeff,
famous
say
rants for
something.
us?
When are they going to show this movie already?
Amuse us,
I
Jeff.
want to see the movie too.
Well, I'm young.
Well,
Well,
Jeff.
you're young.
Jeff, these people, they came here to see you work the boards, man. Come on, do a little rant.
Come on.
I need a question to give it a response.
Come on, somebody.
Can you ever got an offensive question for Jeff so we can get him going with?
Forget it, I'm getting bored. It's too late, I passed that exit already.
Dead Boys questions?
What songs did you write specially for the album that you weren't performing live? Were there any, or was it your whole set?
You already know all that shit.
You know everything.
That's a good question.
Everybody else
Marty,
better.
it's
That's our ringer in the audience, Marty Evans. A big hand.
Security, get him out of here.
It's a good question, baby. That's a good question.
I'm the
Tell
fifth
her.
dead boy.
All of
I'm
them,
the
all of
last
them, you know, written for that, specifically for the studio, because we didn't have any songs. So, you know, not anymore, we had to write in a hurry, I need lunch, a whole bunch of them got written, you know, real fast, because we didn't have songs. You know, when Rocket from the Tune broke up, I only took the 3 songs, Sonic produces What Love Is and Down in Flames, everything else I had to do from scratch. Jeff had a whole bunch of songs ready to go, but then he wasn't in the band anymore. He was, you know,
I had no songs. I was the only one who could play.
Says him.
Next question.
How did the whole songwriting process work? I mean, did somebody come up with a guitar riff and you fill everything later? Or, you know, somebody came up with a lyric and you throw something, do something around it?
You know, just about every combination that you could think of. You know, Jimmy, a lot of his songs like High Tension Wire and Night Lunch, All This and More. I mean, he had All This and More he had done. You know, pretty much just brought it to us and we just, you know, learned it and did a quick arrangement on it. Some of the other stuff, you know, he had to finish up. Like I Need Lunch, he had parts of it. High Tension Wire, he had like the opening and like the words to the first verse. We had to arrange that. Stiv and me wrote Not Anymore. Ain't Nothing to Do was one that I had around. It almost had been a Rock from the Tomb song, but we never got around to doing it. And Stiv came up with the lyrics for that in a hurry. That was one of the, he always used to go to the bathroom and write.
He's amazing, yeah.
We'd be like, "Where's Stiv?" He'd be in the bathroom sitting on the growler, writing lyrics.
Yeah. I think I would like to tell the audience a little bit about how you had no bass player when I spotted you at the CBGBs. What happened was I was working a lot at Media Sound Studios those days, which was one of the hottest recording studios going. And there was a little guy there, there was a couple of engineers, baby engineers we called them. They called themselves the Bats because they could only record late at night. That was Harvey Goldberg, went on to be a big-time producer. Bob Clearmountain, which I'm sure you all heard of, wound up doing the Stones and so on and so forth. And there was one other guy I don't remember. Meanwhile, this is before Jeff. And I said to Hilly, I said, you know what, you can't really do rock and roll without a bass player. We got to get a bass player. And he said, well, I don't know if the boys are going to like that. And I said, well, just really, we need to get a bass player. And then I thought to myself, okay, you know what? Bob Clearmountain is a frustrated bass player over at Media Sound. You know, this is before he became big time. Well, don't you know it? I mean, he was the perfect fourth Dead Boy. He came in, learned the songs, what, in 5 seconds? I mean, you know, he just...
But the thing was, we were used to having, just the way Jeff played them. And which
I was
is,
playing these songs in '75 with Frankenstein.
Yeah,
it was the same members as the Dead Boys.
Yeah, and
we were
Jeff
playing all
has-
this stuff, and
Jeff has like sort of a unique face style.
I'm a melodic kind of
Yes,
guy. I
and
play a
it's
lot of
not
notes.
like, so when Clearmount came in, he was kind of just straight ahead, which is what it needed for the
What it
recording.
really needed for
You
it,
know,
yeah.
and so that worked, but we were missing Jeff.
Yeah, they were missing Jeff, but Bob Clearmountain, it turned out, gave them what they needed, the simplicity. I'm not saying that Jeff wouldn't have done it. Of course he would have, because he's melodic. But Clear Mountain stayed out of their way and played whatever was called for, and believe me, I believe this worked, really worked in their favor that night for basics. Then I fired about 3 engineers. They weren't giving me what I wanted. None of them were giving me what I wanted. Yeah, it was recorded well with Frondelli, but then I couldn't get what I heard, and you know, they didn't want to push the levels to where.
Making the remarks about redlining and.
Yeah, redline, and I said, I don't give a fuck, you know, they play redline, you know, you just let it go. That's what we need. I want a hot sound out of the guitars, blah, 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 blah. It was a fight all the way, so each time I would fire the engineer. Finally, I said, Bob, I said, can you stand away from what you did and, you know, come in and engineer this, help me, you know? I said, I want to mix this, and I'm not getting what I want. And Bob Clear Mountain, understanding rock and roll, came in and gave me exactly what I wanted. And you know the ending of Sonic Reducer, where we put, we threw cymbals on the floor with like 3 microphones underneath it, and a garbage can when they had the tin garbage cans out in the street. And we threw that on the ground to make that sound at the end. And the toilet, yeah, they have a toilet in there somewhere too in one of the mixes. But, so, you know, I'm a true believer, like the Dead Boys, of if it works, do it. You know, if it works, do it. And you're the engineer, so if it's in the red, you make it out of the red, but they have to play the way they play. If they play, well, they're playing too loud for it to be the right sound. Well, that's the way they play. You know, it was like I was the middleman between the engineer and the group. That's how they play, that's how they're going to continue to play, and I'm not changing anything. You know, and that's how I worked. Of course, I was known as the bitch.
They were afraid we were going to
Direct their studios or whatever, you know, because these were wild guys, you know. Not that he's calmed down that much, but his hair was orange. He was, I don't know if you guys remember, he had a head of hair, orange hair, and we're standing at the bar, and I said to him, I said, is that your real color? And he said, yeah. I said, I don't believe you. He said, yeah, it's my real hair color. I said, yeah, let me see. Pull down your drawers, never thinking he would. 2 seconds takes him to pull down his pants, and there it is, the orange flower. You know, that's what I called it. The Roaring Blossom Special. The Orange Blossom Special, that's right. It was crazy that night. It was crazy. But anyway, so I believe, listen, we did it all and had a good time while we were doing it. There was no stress, you know, and if there was stress, they didn't see it on me. I didn't want them to. They shouldn't have to. They had to perform. And boy, listen to that album. They did perform.
Those stand up today. I mean, I still, every now and then I'll throw it in, just give it a listen.
The second album's good too.
I love it.